streaming live on various social media platforms. And I have the privilege once more to say I welcome every one of you. As I said before, Professor Femi Olufimilade, Elomba TV, and many of you, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to one-on-one interview with Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. This interview will be centered around the invasion of your house, the killing of your PA, the arrest that happened in your house, and the denial by the security agents. Barrister Ejiofor is a lawyer, a human rights activist, and the lead counsel to the indigenous people of Biafra. In special note, also the lead counsel to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, Barrister Ejiofor, we are running out of time. We'll say once more, welcome to Njenje Media TV. Can you say hello to us before we kickstart?
Thank you so much, Lawrence. I especially apologize for late joining on this meeting. It basically was due to technical issues arising from my area. You know, when you're in this place, you must definitely have issues with the network. So, except when things start working normal. Thank you so much, and I apologize for late joining of the meeting. So sorry.
Okay, so we would start quickly. You know, let me do this. On the 6th of June of this month, many people woke up and saw within your Twitter handle and online stories flying around as regards to your country home in the southeast state, you know, in the southeast Nigeria, and in your state of Anambra. So could you take us, you know, through the journey of what actually transpired on that fateful day, Barrister Ejiofor?
Thank you, my brother. Actually, it should be the first interview, first and live interview I'm granting in respect of the gore event, the bloody onslaught in my home on the 6th of June, 2021. Because I actually wanted to watch the CCTV footage to understand, get other information which may not be available to me at the point the invasion took place, to enable me comprehensively address the world on what happened in my house. Because I can, in summary, tell you at this stage that what happened on the 6th day of June 2021 is a clear case of assassination, an attempt on my life, a clear case of assassination of my PA, a clear case of abduction of my domestic staff, and stealing of my car, and genocidal massacre of the PA and burning of my PA alongside with my vehicle on this day. So on the 6th of June 2021, I came in on 5th, being Saturday, after a meeting with Archbishop of Onitsha Province. But I came in from on that same day. So after a meeting with him, I came in, getting set for another meeting on the 6th, around 10 o'clock. The meeting was going to take place around 10 o'clock a.m. in the morning. So when I came in, I decided to rest in preparation for this meeting. I came in along with my friend who also attended the meeting at Onitsha with me. So, and for records, I've been frequenting my home for the past 2 months. Records of even the security agents will show you that. And for no other reason than to take part in meetings that will restore total normalcy in our region. So these meetings have been attended to at the behest of my client. Because people will not be saying, who have been saying that Nnamdi Kanu doesn't want peace and doesn't want that, but Nnamdi Kanu is not, it's not averse to peace, a peaceful resolution of issues or hostilities in our region. So then I've been attending a number of meetings in that regard. So on this 5th, I came back on the 5th of June to have a meeting with the Archbishop of Onitsha Province, Archbishop Valerio Okeke. Thereafter, I came back home. Because I was tired, I decided to go upstairs and rest. So at about 2 a.m. in the morning of the 6th, being Sunday, I started hearing my dog started barking in the first place. That actually woke me up from bed. I now woke up and on my camera. So when I on my camera, I discovered that the 2 cameras at the gate, they're no longer working. So I was like, what's actually going on? So I now started looking at the other segment of the camera. And I saw one of my staff who was on the floor of the compound. So I mistook that person at that stage to be my PA. Because at that stage, they've brought him down the invaders has brought him down. And you can see,
Sorry. When you say they brought him down, what do you mean by bringing him down?
As in they didn't kill him at that. They didn't shoot him. I didn't see them shooting him at that time for my footage. But they kicked him down. They kicked him, then he fell down. So, and they handcuffed him and started beating him. They were marching on him then. And somebody eventually sat on him and injected him some substance. This was my driver. So then I became apprehensive because I was watching them from my camera.
Now, so at this point, you're watching from your camera. If I look at where you are standing, I mean, I take it that you are in your village house as we speak.
Very well, sir. Very well, sir. Very well. So I will take you around.
Okay, go ahead.
I will take you around in the course of this discussion. So because I'm in my home as I speak to you now. So I was kind of apprehensive as what actually was going on. So and I called my friend who was then at my resource room. I came up. I was like, he said, as he speak to me, because he saw them clearly from the room, that joint team of the military, the soldiers, police, SSS, are in my home. So I was like, what was going on? And I started making calls to people I can reach at that time. So, and at that stage, because I mistook that my driver to be my PA, when I initially gave and wrote my statement, I didn't issue a press statement in that regard. So I now off my television, my camera, my city camera television, and also decided to locate to a server place within my main building. So at that stage, I wasn't watching again. So, and after about some time, about 3:30 to 4 o'clock, I stopped hearing people's noise, and I came down around after 4. So, and the neighbors started coming. I now observed, first of all, from the camera I watched immediately, I observed my staff were abducted. My elder brother was also arrested.
Sorry, let me interject here. Before you watching any camera, what did you see before any camera? Did you hear gunshots at that point?
Sorry, I forgot to mention. At the time this was going on in my house, they were shooting sporadically into the air around the compound, in and around the compound. So even in that inside the compound, they were shooting going on. So, and I have no doubt in my mind at that stage that they've come again for me, because you will recall that on 2nd of December 2019, similar thing happened in my place. They actually came for me, and in the process, they killed about 4 persons in my house, burned the entire house. That was when, because I want the world to take note of what I'm saying now. That was when John Abang was the Commissioner of Police in Anambra State. John Abang was the Commissioner of Police in Anambra State. And on his authority, and the authority of the person who is sponsoring him, I don't want to mention him name, but maybe I may be forced to do that in the course of this interview. He came here to assassinate me on 2nd of December 2019. So, and the rest is now within the public domain. What the candidate that took place in my house, the killings and everything, is also before the court, because I took them to court in that regard. So, the same John Abang is now the AIG intelligence of 4CID. And they have reliably gathered, I can say that to you in unmistaken terms. Put me anywhere in the world, I'll prove it to you. John Abang and the person sponsoring him, because John Abang is now the AIG intelligence in 4CID. Send these people to me. These are people made up of they act under the code name of JTF, NHC. I'll send you some information after this interview. You send them. Then acting. Obviously, you knew that I am harmless. He knew my position is site as a lawyer to IPOB and then I'm the Kano. But because they are actually after my life, they want to get me down at all costs by enemies. He wants to take advantage of the hostilities in the southeast to come to my house. But unknown to him, he is fully unaware of the fact that Barrister Jofo has been at the center stage of people who are clamoring for peace, restoration of total peace in our region. So when he initially wanted to do that, he made some contact with local authorities, and they refused to get involved. I may not mention them. Then I never knew he was planning to come and kill me and my community staff. Then on this second day, on this 6th June, they told me, they understand that I'm around. I was around then. I came in from Abuja then. I'm around. So now send them to come. I will send you footage of the atrocity they committed in my house. When they came, and you see them clearly, fully kitted in their combat uniforms. They were highly sophisticated as if they are embarking on operation on a place where you have terrorists, where you have Boko Haram members operating, fully kitted. They came, they scaled through the fence where my security cable could not cover. One person scaled through the fence. You see it, all I'm saying now can be established in the next couple of minutes after this interview. I'll send it to you. They scaled through the fence, came in, then went and opened this gate. Opened the gate. When you open this gate, my driver came out from their room, from their house, a small house. I'll show it to you. I'll take it around now. So came out, and you can see from the footage that as soon as my driver came out, they were already inside the house, inside the compound. And I asked him to stand. He stand. He never at any point in time resisted them, confronted them. They brought him down. Started manhandling him, handcuffed him, beat him, and in the process, some now went inside my boss quarter, where my PA was sleeping, where my
Barrister Jofo,
thank you.
May I interject here? You said when they came in, your driver came out. Do you have a security man in your ancestral home? So how come your driver opened the door instead of your security man?
No. It wasn't door. They came in through the fence. You know, because of the sound of gunshot going on. So they were so apprehensive. My driver came out to find out what was actually going on. Because they never believed that you have such strangers in my house, such terrorists in uniform in my house. They never believed that. So he came out from their room to find out, to listen to what was going on. So unknown to him that they were already inside the house. So they now asked him to stand. And you will see it in the CCTV footage. He hands up. They brought him down. Then sat on him, started manhandling him, handcuffed him, injected him. He was injected. Then at that stage, some of them rushed inside their room, inside their house, where others were sleeping. And from the footage unveiled all the atrocities that they committed in my house. They now brought the second person, who is my stance PA. They brought him. I saw him coming out from that footage. So the one they brought him. Shortly after that, you saw my PA, who was murdered in a cold blood. They were dragging the dead body on the floor of my house. They dragged him from the house to the gate. Then
so now for clarity here, they shot your PA in your house.
Inside the room. They killed him inside the room. He was murdered inside that room. In my own house. In my compound.
There is a CCTV, and you said you have a CCTV.
I am sending it to you right away. I have done that now, but I will send it to you right away. I will send it to you right away. All I'm saying is contained in that CCTV footage. And we have overwhelming evidence. I had evidence to nail them more. So they killed him inside the room, dragged him, about 5 of them dragged him, the dead body, lifeless body of him, outside the compound. Then, as if that wasn't enough for them, 2 of them now came back. After they have forced the driver to give them the car key to my Camry, Toyota Camry, he then came back and went to where I parked the Camry and started, then drove off. Then my elder brother, who was arrested, and at some point left when they got to know, they left him. So was the person that told us when he came back that when they brought the vehicle, they now put the dead body of my PA inside the vehicle. Now, on getting to Nobi, they now asked my dear brother, Mr. Joel Ejiofor, to come out. When he came out, they now asked him to go. He left. Right? So they now got to where they call Neni in an Osha local government area of Anambra State. After Okacha Police Station, they went down, then set the vehicle. Now my Camry set the vehicle ablaze. Why my PA lifeless body was inside? All of them got burnt. All of them got burnt. Now, I made a personal contact with Commissioner of Police in Anambra State on that same day. Quote me correctly. I made a contact with him. He told me, Ejiofor, he was never on the know about the operation that took place in my house. 1, he was never told by anybody who is coming from anywhere that they were coming to my house. He was not on the know. Then area commander from my own division, area commander in charge of my command, I called him, Mr. Folabi. He told me that Ejiofor, I was never on the know. Even when they were in my house, I called him. He said nobody contacted him, nobody involved the command, nobody involved them, and he's going to make contact with CP at the time they were in my house. After what I called the CP. So now, I'm asking you now, first of all, the criminals in uniform that came to my house, they are not under any form of illusion that they were coming to Barrister Jofo's house. This is a lawyer of international repute. Then, and it was same day I came back from Abuja. If the intention is genuine, why didn't they arrest me in Abuja when I was in Abuja? My brother, from my office to IG's office is less than 10 minutes drive. From my office to ASSS office, headquarters, is less than 10 minutes drive. From Mr. Army headquarters, is less than 10 minutes drive. Why can't they extend the invitation to me? You have been investigated for any offense known to law. Then I'll honor the invitation. Then why coming to my house at 2 hours of the night? To come because they have a predetermined intention to kill and assassinate me. There's no doubt about it. That was why eventually, they took my staff, my domestic staff who abducted. They took them to command to Anambra State Police Command headquarters, and I was legally informed that CP rejected them because they were not told. He was not told at the point they were coming to my house. He was not told. They rejected them. So now they've taken them to Abuja. They're in Abuja now, right? I've made several demands to the state, to federal government, to police authority to release my staff. Now,
okay, hold on here,
okay.
Hold on. You said your brother was released in Nnobi. Is that correct?
Very well.
And your staffs were taken to Abuja.
They were taken to Abuja, yes. They were taken to Abuja.
So could you explain to us, do you understand any rationale behind leaving your brother behind and taking your staffs to Abuja? Is there any rationale behind that decision?
What I believe, let me say this to you, my brother. These guys think they're smart, but they're not smart. I believe they never wanted my brother to witness the burning of my car alongside with my PA. Because I can show you a document now after this interview. I will send you the footage and I'll show you a document they released afterwards. They sent to somebody and the person made it public. The person made it public through his Facebook page. We have it. That they recovered vehicle Camry from the people that arrested. They said they came to Barrister John's house. They made a wonderful arrest. They arrested the IESN top commanders. They recovered vehicle from them. They recovered charms from them. And IPOB is Siginian. That's all what they said in the stupid idiots that sent to the people that are working with them. Now we have it with them. So I've made contact to I also made contact to IG with IG on this regard. I said, what happened in my house? I want to know. I demand to know. We're talking about what happened on 2nd of December 2019. That one, as of today, the first headquarters has not issued a statement to that effect. In clarification of what happened in my house. And we're in court. I took them to court. The man is coming up for hearing tomorrow. Then this one, they came again. So I am also fully aware that Abang is not acting alone. Somebody somewhere from my community is sponsoring him. Because the man is hell-bent on getting me killed at any cost, at all costs of enemies. I will mention his name in the course of time. Why they leave my brother? Why my brother was left around at some point was because they don't want him to witness what they did. The banner in which my PA was burned and the vehicle. But
now, when they left your Mr. Jofo, when they left your brother at Nnobi and the Camry was burned at Neni.
Yeah.
How did your brother see the burning of the car?
He didn't witness it. He didn't witness it because you have to get to Nnobi. You have to get to Nnobi first.
I understand. I know the locality very well.
So
that's why
he didn't witness it. What happened was that I was supposed to have a meeting on Sunday being 6th at 10 a.m. somewhere. I may not mention it here. But I'm waiting for them because I'm going to mention them that will shut the whole world. If they are unable to investigate what happened in my house and produce the criminal that came to my house and release my boss within the day for 8 hours, I'll mention the names of the people that I had meeting with. I'll mention them, including the governors I met having with. I'll mention them because they know that that in the course of having meetings, and as a matter of fact, I'm a lawyer. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I've been in Abuja when this thing started. I was in Abuja when this thing started, and they were calling me from all over the world. It's just for what's going on in the East. Can't you help? Can't you help? I left my wife and my children to come down here to start making peace.
Okay, so Barrister Jofo, if I piggyback as to motive here, you believe that the invasion of your house has some connection to the insecurity that we saw in the Southeast in April and May?
It has no connection with that whatsoever. Let me tell you what happened. You see, before you can be able to actualize some emotive, you must certainly create a platform that will make it work, that will sell it or add it up. In this case, some people somewhere has been plotting evil against me. I am not unaware of that fact. Then they now want to take advantage of the situation in the Southeast to make it happen. Because as a matter of fact, if you're talking about intelligence, we know all. If there's any intelligence gathering about a person, it must originate from the division, division of the police, division of the SSS, to the headquarters of the police. From there to Abuja. Are you getting what I'm saying? So I am telling you that each time I am coming back home, I was coming back home before this incident, I will personally put the area commander on the know in my division, area commander in charge of the division of command headquarters, Mr. Falabi. I will call him when I will be leaving Abuja. And when I get home, I'll call him. At times he'll come back to my house and come and see me. He will come and announce. Because you know what I'm doing. So if I'm doing anything evil, if I'm doing any evil in my house, will I be calling him?
And in this case, when you came in on the 5th of June, did you inform Afolabi as usual, as you normally do?
Of course. In Abuja, let me say this to you. My programs were, I called him and I told him my programs one after the other. And he was on the know. So when I came in that evening, I told him I just finished a meeting with the Archbishop and coming back home. Let me rest. So tomorrow we'll see. And as a matter of fact, let me just say this. Afolabi is fully on the know about even the meeting I was supposed to have on the 10th, on the Sunday by 10 o'clock. He was aware of the meeting. Afolabi, my area commander, is fully aware of I was on the know about the meeting I was supposed to have on the 10th, on 6th of June at 8 a.m. I told him everything. So assuming a security risk to the public or to the state, will I be communicating with the police? Will I be discussing issues of this about my program with them? The answer is no. And he comes to my house unannounced. You can verify. Afolabi is the Assistant Commissioner of Police. It's not a DPO. You can verify from him. He know, including the first CP of Anambra State, I'm not a threat to the police or to the security agents. And all the meetings I attended in the course of restoring peace in our region, this my PDA has always been with me. It's known to them. They don't know. He has always been with me. I attended the meetings. So the police is fully aware that I was coming back on the 5th. And at any point in time I was coming back before that incident, they are also aware. Because once the area commander of my division, of my command is aware, I believe CP and by extension, everybody operating for about should be aware. So, but I'm not in any way indicting him. I'm not because he was very plain as to this. He told the world, he told the CP that why was this thing going on? CP also told everybody that he wasn't on the know. So I know how it was planned because I am in Abuja. So I know how it was planned. Eventually I got information about how it was planned. So it was fully planned and orchestrated by AIG John Abang. Now my brother recall that AIG John Abang is some person that killed Yusuf. Yusuf was founder of Yoko Haram. Was any place he found himself, he was looking for Arab enemy to create confusion. So he killed Yusuf, which led to the spread of Boko Haram across the Northeast. You can verify what I'm telling you from police authority. You killed him. And he was detained for 1 year. The first assignment he took up after that was coming to Anambra State to be appointed the Commissioner of Police Anambra State. And you see what happened. We saw what happened in my house on 2nd of December 2019. So, and he never is arrested. Because the man working with him told him that he want to get me down at all costs by any enemies. And that man is simple, that's a person who is after my life. So he's acting in concert with the authority to get me down at all costs by enemies. And I've not in any way offended him. That idiot who is doing this. So let AIG Donald Bank. I have every document, I have every information about what he did. And I will establish it with anywhere I'm called upon tomorrow. He's the one that sent them because I have signal as to how the JTF was formed. I have it today. We have how it was formed, the information they made on top of the JTF. And how because AIG Bank is reporting to DIG for CID. And the central demand is an Igbo man. So DIG is reporting to IG. So in this case, they notice that once the CP state command is on the know, that they will tell me. And they circumvented the red command to come and kill me. the camera speaks for itself. The footage speaks for itself. It's comprehensive enough well detailed to tell that what's happening in my house was a clear case of assassination. Now,
okay, let me. Sorry, before you go further, I have these names: Felix Okonkwo Emeka, Okafor Lawrence Ugochukwu, Gentle Lion. I believe Gentle Lion is your PA, right?
It's not Gentle Lion. It's not Gentle Lion. His name is not Gentle Lion. My brother, let me say this to you.
Hold on. These names. Okay. Okay, go ahead. I mean, the reason why I'm saying is.
Let me give you an important.
The names I just. The names I just read out.
Yeah, Ugochukwu is my gardener. He's my gardener and the cook to my domestic staff. Henry Mecca is my son PA. They've been in this place for the past. They've been in my house for the past 1 to 2 years ago. My PA has been with me for the past 4 years. Ugochukwu came in last year to join them. I employed him and I'm paying the salary. I have their slips. I'm paying the salary every month. I pay the salary. These are my staff in my house. They don't step out of my gate. Now let me say this to you, because in the fullness of time, a lot of information will come to the public. When they were planning this thing, something happened, and I will send you a picture after this interview where those idiots that came to my house when they were at the planning stage of this attack on an innocent home, on a peaceful home, was taken. Now, they brought a picture of somebody called Gentle Lion in Imo State. I saw it online. That Gentle Lion in Imo State was an ESM member, according to what they're saying, what I saw online. Then they now, because to make it work now, to make it happen, so it look as if the person is living in my house. So they now show the authority, idiots that came, they show them that this is the Gentle Lion living with this person operating in Imo State. Right? Now, you came to a house of a lawyer. Yeah, a house of a lawyer at about 2:30 in the night. Yeah, after 2 to 2:30 in the night. You came, and I was around. I was around. Under most circumstances, under the rules of engagement, nobody challenged you. Nobody resisted you. There was no arm in my house. There was no knockout in my house. Now, it's not enough to ask, okay, where is this man? Who is the owner of this house? Is he around? They say, he's around. Okay, let me see him. Okay, what are you doing here? I'm a driver. I'm this one. Okay, let me look at your rooms and see what you have in your rooms. Right? Assuming you are acting under an intelligent report, supposed intelligent report, can't you conduct search to know whether these people are what you are told they are? Then ask them questions. Okay, what case scenario? Let me go and interrogate you further on this issue, on these allegations against you. Then for what happened in your house? What are they doing in your house? Now, the same police authority, the same IG of police told us that we are entitled to private security. Even you are entitled to have somebody around you. An event of 2019 has not still fresh in my memory. Because innocent people were killed in my house. I'll take care of now. About 4 houses were burnt in my house. And no government agency, not even federal government, not state government, has given me $1 to do those ones. I have to borrow money from friends to fix my house, even when the matter was still in court. Then it wasn't enough. So I'm thinking, this boy, we didn't get him. We have to come back again. Then now the stupid man, the AIG, the terrorist, was promoted to AIG, and they sent him to Abuja, where you sit with idiots and make offer to plan evil against me. Then they now hatch this evil plan against me. Then taking advantage of hostilities in the southeast, but not to them. They don't know the kind of role I'm playing to make sure there's peace in our land. Because some people are benefiting. They are benefiting from the hostilities. People who are apparently agents of foreign government are people who are interested in getting that thing gone, the escalation gone. Right? So the intendment was to come to my house, kill me, probably, and I wait for what maybe kind of a response from people, from my fans across the world or across the southeast. But in this case, they succeeded in killing a fine gentleman, a person whom a lot of dignitaries has come to my house, my client has come, and I met him. Very innocuous, very humble, very gentle to the core, to the fault. Because me and him, we are designed to be killed in that operation. Me and the Samuel Okoro, my PA, we are designed to be killed. That's their target. Me and him. And they know I was around. So there's no two ways about it. The government and the federal government and the police authority is under compelling obligation to identify these criminals in uniform. I will send it to you. You know, if by tomorrow the world will be awash with what happened in my house, because it's left off my hands now, right? I will send it to you right away, and I'll send it to the world by tomorrow to go all over the places, because my media team has already taken over control of it. You see what happened in a lawyer's house, a lawyer of international repute, a lawyer in my class, as if the idiots who had abandoned their duty post from Zambesa Forest to launch a bloody attack on my person, as if they are coming here to attack terrorists, and they know this is my house. They know it's my house. They know it's my house, and then I come back and
Barrister, I mean, there is no doubt. I mean, there is no doubt in what you're saying. Now, for clarity purposes here, I have one of the, before now, when the incident happened, I was privileged to see one of what they called the notes that they sent out after the operation in your house. Now, again, from the CCTV, or rather from their reports, they said, and I read it out here. It said that in the course of our arrest, charms, red Toyota Camry, and IPOP items were recovered. Now, red Toyota, I believe, is the Toyota that was burnt, and we have also seen the video of that Toyota. We have also seen, sadly, the video of the deceased, that is your PA. We have seen where the PA's body was extracted from that burnt Camry. I think it's 2011 Camry, if I'm not mistaken. So now, what are you telling the world now? According to what they wrote here, aside the Camry that was recovered from your house, what else did they recover from your house, Barrister?
My brother, if you're talking about recovering a vehicle from a home, it appears the terminology they use in describing what happened in my house from their own report was kind of baptized. What I'm telling you that took place in my house was a case of stealing. Because the car they stole from my house, they know it belongs to me. It has my particulars, I have my registration number. And then from the camera, you see that the car was parked in my car park. It was parked in my car park. You see it from footage. It was parked. And two of them went and drove it away. Right? It was parked in my car park. And two of them went and drove the car away, which eventually used in burning the dead body of my PA, also alongside with the vehicle. So, my brother, let us be frank with our position. Let us be frank to ourselves. Let us be frank. Assuming without considering to the fact that there was any investigation of any nature going on, my vehicle, was it a subject of investigation? A vehicle fully registered in Abuja, was it a subject of investigation? No. Now, assuming, and if it's from that CCTV coverage footage, you will see that my security, my boss quarter, where my domestic staff lives, is an enclosed space. So you will not think about somebody trying to escape, making an escape from what you're reading, because I have gone through it. So you will see it yourself. I will take you down. You have to give me about 5 minutes to take you around my compound now, because I'm in the house. So you will see there's no provision for somebody to escape from that place. And that was why my driver came out from the room quietly to observe, to at least to watch out as to see what was going on, why the gunshot and everything. Now, the criminals that came here, because I continue to call them criminals until they identify, prosecuted under our law. They came with 2 native doctors here. You will see it in the camera, in the footage. They came with 2 native doctors. My brother, let me take you around. Listen for me, please.
They came with native doctors?
Watch for me. Watch. I will send what I'll send you footage. You understand what I'm telling you now? They came. Two of them were seated here. Look at where they were sitting. I said, but this is my house. They were here. Two of them were there doing incantation. Then once somebody went inside, this is the compound we're talking about, went inside this room, when they were killing my PA, went there, brought white handkerchief, you see it in the footage, then give it to the native doctors who are here, who are now down here, they were not down here. So they do some incantation, the person took it back to that place, right? So They know the kind of charms they came to my house with. So if they're talking about charms, they recover charms, they came with charms. So if they recover charms, that's their own business. I don't know. I don't do charms in my house. I'm a full Anglican. Anglican. So now, too, let me show you something. This is my house. Let me show you something.
Barrister, are you able to use your front camera? Can you switch your camera and use your front camera? Let's see more of, yeah.
Okay, let me. Okay, see it. Are you seeing it now?
In the no, I'm still looking at your face.
Oh, I'm trying
it's fine, but I think it's in that camera. You can actually flip the camera. If it becomes,
I'm being careful about this.
Impossible,
so this is where I have my CCTV camera. See it. See my the one they broke. You can see it here. You can see the cable. See there.
Did they remove it when they came in?
They remove it. Yeah. They scared through this place. They scared with one of them scared through this place. Enter through this place. You can see the space. Enter through this place.
And the CCTV caught that person before he.
Yes, it caught him. I'll send it to you. Caught him. So because they're on our way, they caught him. Where they entered from. Where one of them entered from. Then when he entered from this place, then he now went inside and opened this gate, wide opening for them to come in. Then his colleagues, his gangs, criminal gangs came in from this place. Then my PA, my driver was came in from here, came in from this place. He came in from this place. He came in from this is their house. This is where they live. This is where they live. This is about 3-bedroom flat. So he came out from here and still was. When he came out to watch what was going on, and by the time he came out here, they were here. They now asked him to stand to stand to kneel down. He now down. They now kick him down. So I started manhandling him here. This is right in the spot, in front of the spot. Then some of them now move inside this room where my PA was sleeping at the time. My PA and the other people and the Gochukwu and Co. They move inside this room. You can see the room. They move inside the room where they were sleeping, and they continue in their criminal exploits. So that's where they killed my PA. So, and from that camera, I was watching them. They never knew that this camera, let me show you something. They never knew that this camera was, see this camera that caught them clearly. See it here. I have to show it to you. This camera caught them clearly. There's a camera here. Up here, I've seen it. This camera caught them clearly. So it caught them because everything happened here, around here. So they never knew that this camera was getting them, then was capturing them. They now brought dead body, live body of my PA from here. From here, they dragged the body from the room. They passed through this place, and they take the body outside. So now my car was parked here. Then my car was parked here, or parked in this spot. Where this car was parked now was parked. That my red car was parked here. So then two of them came here and drove that car away. So outside the compound, because they parked their car, their vehicles, about 15 vehicles, 2 to 3 kilometers away from this place. They didn't come with it, so we cannot see them. So they park it at a very far place and trek upstairs. So when they were trekking, the camera was capturing them. The cameras in my house were capturing them. I will send it to you. So now they now when they get outside, they now put the corpse of my PA inside the vehicle and took him away. So that was what happened. So when they got to me,
they didn't put the deceased corpse of your PA in your compound. They took him out.
They took him out. So they took him out. Yes, yeah. My elder brother was arrested alongside with that was abducted alongside with my community staff. Saw them because he was there. They took him there. They took my elder brother. They took him. He saw when they were putting the body inside my car. And when he came back, he told me. He said he called me and said that this guy they killed. It's obvious they killed this guy. He now told me I killed this guy. I said no, it's not possible. He said they killed this guy. They killed him. My brother was told me, Joel told me when he came back, he said they killed this guy. So it was the following morning. That's the morning, around 3 to 4. Somebody that participated in that meeting went yesterday, that being on 5th of July, of June, at Archbishop's premises, called my attention to what he saw along Nene. I will not mention them, use them. So he said we should go and check. That vehicle resembled my vehicle. I should go and find out what happened. So when we got there, We don't saw the body of my boy. They have both bumped the vehicle, so that the vehicle have blazed alongside with my body's like my PA's body. So up to today, despite our various correspondence to the security agencies, to the Chief of Army Staff, to IG of Police, to the Presidency, to SSG, to LGF, to the police, to SSS, nobody has responded. Nobody has openly come to acknowledge the fact that this thing happened on account of this. Till today,
there was a report actually that I think was issued by the State Police Commissioner, denying that anybody ever came to your house. Now, the question is, if all these things happened and there is a CCTV footage, why do you think they are still denying it? That something that's so glaring and so visible to the blind happened, and they're telling us that nothing like that happened.
The Commissioner of Police, Anambra State, I personally called him on phone. I spoke with him. I'm saying it before the public. And he confirmed to me, Ejiofor, I don't know about what happened in your house. Nobody called me, nobody informed me. So obviously, we're not expecting to tell that he's away. So he told me nobody contacted because under normal circumstances, assuming you are going for oppression of this nation, and they came with uniforms. I will check. You came with uniforms. Even their faces, you see their faces. The camera captured their faces. Can identify them. They came with uniforms, soldiers' uniforms, SSS, police. I have them in my camera. I have all of them in my cameras. In their combat team fit. You can have all of them in my cameras. So by this time tomorrow, the media, the whole international community, the foreign government media will be at watch with the footage of what happened in my house. And I believe at that time that the police and the federal government will be forced to identify the criminals that came to my house and sanction them accordingly, prosecute them, and demanding through this region for immediate release of my people. Immediate and unconditional release of my staff. They were abducted. I am still making that demand now. They should release my staff. They adopted in my house because
so
they committed no.
With the exception of your brother that has been released, so how many of your staffs still with them?
3 of them.
Now it's quite intriguing listening to you. And if an entity has denied ever invading your house, did your staffs find their way to Abuja where they are being held? So how come, if your house was never invaded, if no one approved coming to your house, how did your staffs? I mean, these are questions that you think about it, obviously it doesn't necessarily make too much sense. So obviously someone is lying here. How did your staff get to Abuja if they were not abducted?
That's the question for answer. I want to mention the names of those that arrested my domestic staff. They are arrested. They are still in their custody. They are abducted in my house. First one is Mr. Felix Okonkwo Emeka.
Felix Okonkwo
Emeka, yes. Second one is Okafor Lawrence Ugochukwu. And third one is Ikem Nashibi Ikem.
Okay. And are they all from, where are they all from?
Ikem Nashibi Ikem is from Anambra State.
Okay.
When Okafor is from Enugu, and the other person is from Lawrence is from Enugu too.
So how long have these people been working with you?
My PA, the one they killed, has been with me for the past 4 years. Then Chibi Ikem has been with me for the past 2 years. Then Lawrence, my driver and my gardener were just employed last year. They were at my house. They've been working for at least for going to 1 year now. They were just employed last year.
And they were all in that boys' quarter that you just showed us.
Yes, they had this full 3-bedroom flat apartment. They're just there. That's where they're living. And I'm living in this main house.
Now, was any attempt made to get themselves into that main house?
Yes, you will see from what do you call it, from the camera, that after evacuating the dead body of my gear and the vehicle, they came toward this side. They came toward this end. They were trying to see if they can enter from the other door, from that entrance. But that door is bulletproof. So they make effort before somebody started calling them outside the fence, from the outside the gate, to call that you have to leave here quickly. They have to leave here quickly. I heard the sound. I heard the voice very well. That you have to leave quickly. Even my elder brother confirmed to me that somebody, when they were trying to enter through this place, through the second door. Let me show you the second door. When they were trying to enter through the second door, this second door from here. Then one of them called us and said, we should leave. Then immediately raced out. So they couldn't come inside the main house. I was upstairs in my room on that fateful day.
There was it will be fair to say that they were not able to gain entrance into the main house, that the whole operation took place in the boys' quarter.
And within the compound, yes. And also behind my compound, where my brother lives, where my half brothers, my elder brothers and my other siblings live. They went there. That was what they picked. They abducted my elder brother, whom they left at some point on their way going back.
Okay. In the course of this interview, I think I wouldn't let that go. In the course of this interview, you dropped a name whom you accuse here. I don't want to get into details as to that accusation. I believe the law court will probably do that. But something, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it true that during your higher institution that you enjoyed the Makeoffers scholarship? Is that true?
I never enjoyed anybody's scholarship. Never gave me scholarship. Rather, he was person that defrauded me at some point. But I want to go into details. In the fullness of time, I'll address that point. So he never gave me any scholarship.
Okay.
So
in that case, then. In that case, your answer has eaten my second question. I will leave it at that. Because I would have had a follow-up question if the answer was in the affirmative.
Yes, thank you.
So now, what do you said something is going to happen within the next 48 hours. Can you elaborate on that?
No, I'm going to court. Simple. I'm going to court to file action against the government of the state of the day. I'll file action against the 11 agents I've written to, the DSS, the police, the army, and the SSS. I'm going to file action against them within the next 48 hours. I'm going to court to challenge what happened in my house and also the continued illegal detention and incarceration of my people. So, because the faces of people that came here is clear. So once they see the footage, they identify them. So they can't say they don't know them. It's both the soldiers, the SSS, the police, the military, whatever you call them, the civil defense, their faces are it's contained captured by the camera. So they will want to see that they know them. They have to kind of identify them. But by this time tomorrow, the whole world will have seen the camera because it's off my hands. The footage is off my hands at this stage. So when they see them, they have to identify them. What I'm demanding, well, I know my boys have been detained in first CID. Abuja, I am fully aware of that. I'm a lawyer. I've gone far in this profession. So I know where they're detained. What I'm demanding for them to release them immediately. They defy the criminals that came to my house and appropriately sanction them and prosecute them. That's my demand. And within the next 8 hours, if that's not done, I'm going to challenge the action in court and make more chilling revelation about what happened in my house. And make more chilling revelations about what happened in my house, clearly captured by civic footage in the course of time. I will take it up on there. Because let me see what informed that kind of operation on a lawyer's home. They have to give you reasons why they came to my house. And it is more so when people who are supposed to know the effort I'm making to restore peace in our region.
So now, if I piggyback,
I'm coming. We have Sheikh Gumi, who is not a lawyer. He's not a lawyer, but he's a cleric. This man, apart from the fact that he's interceding for people who are known terrorists. Known terrorists. He has gone ahead to say a number of things, even on the air, and nobody has challenged him. But he have people, he have person in my capacity who is in the middle trying to restore peace for people who are legitimately agitating, who are legitimately exciting the rights as provided by the Constitution. And someone somewhere we plan, conspire on my possible assassination. But what I'm saying, what I want to tell you at this stage is that there is no amount of intimidation if they don't know. There's no amount of oppression. There's no amount of threat that has stopped me from defending IPOB cases and then Nnamdi Kanu. It can never happen. Not on the history of this earth. I can never stop. Nobody will stop threatening me to stop defending them. Nobody will press me to stop defending them. Nobody will attempt, we do things that will stop me from defending them, because I know I am protected by the law and by the Constitution. It's my right to defend anybody that comes my way.
So what you're telling us now is that you believe that the invasion of your house in 2019 and the invasion of your house in June 2021 is connected to you being the lead counsel to IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu. Is that what you're saying?
Of course. If I'm not, they wouldn't have come. If I'm not, they wouldn't have come. If I'm not, they wouldn't have come. But there must be a basis for somebody to operate. Of course, you know now. They will go and tell them that, look, Geoffroy said is doing this, that the IPOB members are taking off from his house. They come to his house, have meeting and all whatnot. Before now, even before I get to know the AIG, the area commander in my division, in my place, he has heard all sorts of rubbish from people about me until he came to know me. Because they are sponsoring false intelligence and false information about me. They go and tell him that, okay, look at Geoffroy, his house, where IPOB members live, where you see they have gone, they have this and have that. Until the man get to know me one on one. The man said he has never. You see, one thing about life is that when you have something about somebody, investigate those information, and you know that I'm the best friend he may have in our region.
So, and before I let one or two people within the audience ask their questions, and obviously, as is tradition to what we do here, at least we let people have, also put one or two questions to you. I would want to know, you said the reason why you came back on the 5th was to interact with the churches in order to find peace for the Southeast. In that interaction, were you acting as an independent lawyer, as a concerned citizen, as also a red cap chief in the Igbo nation, or were you representing any organization in seeking for that peace?
My brother, I didn't come back for interaction at the point in question. Let me say this to you. I've been involved in a highly sensitive and sensitive meetings, security meetings. And I'm not doing it in my capacity as a lawyer only. I'm doing it in my capacity as a lawyer to Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. And I'm doing it as my capacity as a naturalist who cannot stand by when things are going wrong. And both parties have my endorsement. I may not go into it because it's secret matters. They have my endorsement. Even the police and everybody know is our way. Why the killings in the Southeast? Why killing people? Why killing innocent civilians? Why killing people who are male agitating? It's solvable. There's a solution to that problem. There's a solution because you have to explain to somebody to understand the solution to that problem. And that solution, and when that solution is applied, it will stop. That's what I was doing. The entire stakeholders, the governors of the South, they are fully on the know. The security agents are fully on the know. Because this killing has to stop. People have lost more than 300 persons in Imo State. Anambra, Ebonyi. Across the Southeast. River State is uncountable. People are being killed every day. So you have to approach them to tell them, look, there's reason that this matter has to be solved. They know what I'm doing. They know I'm not a threat to anybody. They know I'm not a threat to security agents. They know I'm not a threat to anybody. But the criminals who are hell-bent on finding a way to eliminate me want to rely on that situation to have their way. They have their way to my house, to my life. So the meetings I attended, the meeting I attended at Archbishop was a meeting I was informed about on the Sunday I came back. I was informed about that meeting on the same day I came back. Because I came back for a meeting I have on the following day, being Sunday, that's 6th June 2021. So that meeting was set for 10 o'clock at some place I will not mention here. Then before I was called to be informed about the invitation by the Archbishop. When I was going there, I was thinking I was going for a private discussion that borders on short religious issue. So when I got there, His Grace started commending me for my effort. So I'm supposed to live without being afraid of anybody in the course of deciding these responsibilities. And IPOB has never offended anybody in the course of agitating. So this thing has to be talked over. You have to sit down and explain to people to understand that these guys have legitimate claim that have to be addressed. You can't solve a problem by applying violence. It cannot be solved. They have to be listened to and know what their grievances are and possibly know how to resolve it. In certain climes, in certain climes, I should be the kind of person that state should be protected. Everybody should be protected. You have to listen to them. Know what actually is the problem. How can we resolve it? It's not by killing them. It's not by sending military to go and kill them. It's not by sending police to go and kill them. This thing can be resolved. It's solvable. I made it to them that it's solvable. And because of my effort, we've been able to achieve 50 to 70% of peace in the region, in our region. See, peace in our region.
So even after the invasion of your house, you were not deterred because you believe in having peace. So what you're saying is, even after that, you still went ahead, and that's why.
Let me say this to you. If I was discouraged by the event of 6th of December, June 2021, things will be going worse. But I know that people who came to my house, they have other intentions. They have underlying motive. And the intention is to cause trouble in the land. The intention is to cause more confusion. The intention is to promote violence. And if I had come out and said, please, I won't take this, I won't take this, I won't take that, and I must get rid of it. It must fight to fire. You know what will be happening in our region now? For me saying that, you know what will be happening in our region. But I wasn't discouraged. You may be shocked to know at this stage that even that meeting I scheduled to attend on that Sunday, I attended that meeting. Will that shock you to know? To hear this? I attended that meeting, regardless of what happened in my house on that day. And that meeting offered me opportunity to get more information about what happened in my house. And who was the masterminder? Who masterminded what happened in my house? And who funded it? So what I'm saying is that the killing must stop. What I'm saying is that the government must listen at all levels, must listen to the agitation and legitimate claims of IPOB. They must listen to it, to them. We still have time for that. They must pay attention to the demands of Nnamdi Kanu led IPOB. They must pay attention to him. There are problems, you have to engage him. You have to talk to him. You have to listen to his demands. You have to take the ones he can do immediately. By so doing, a lot can be solved. These guys are operating within the confines of law. These guys are setting within the powers, enjoying the powers provided on the rights provided on the Constitution and the African Human Rights. It's a legitimate agitation. Listen to them, know where it go, how things are going wrong, and resolve it.
Thank you very much.
I am using this video, my brother, to demand for immediate and unconditional release of my people. 1, 2, to demand for immediate arrest and prosecution of all the criminal elements that came to my house on uniforms, and demand immediate dismissal of AIG John Abang from police force. I'm making these demands. I demand for immediate and unconditional release of my staff who has been in incarceration for the past 3 weeks. I also demand for immediate prosecution of the criminal element that came to my house on the 6th day of June 2021 in police and military uniforms. And also demand for immediate dismissal of AIG John Abang, who is a non-terrorist in the police force.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a very fine place to anchor with. Sadly, we lost some time at the beginning, but nonetheless, we would move quickly. I would stay with us. I will take a couple of questions from the audience. Please, if I call upon you to unmute you to speak, you have maximum of 1 minute to make your intervention or to ask your question. Do not please exceed that. Can I take Tango Ugochukwu? Can you kindly unmute yourself and ask your question, please? Go ahead. 1 minute, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Brother Ifeanyi, you are welcome. Huh?
Okay, good afternoon.
And God will continue serving you.
Amen.
What happened is evil. It has happened before.
Yes, sir.
You know, when they told you before, a call for do your professional job. These people want to give a dog a bad name. His killing.
Thank you so much.
He did nothing wrong. A medical for you mentioned, don't be afraid of anybody. He's not God. People will live and die. A medical for you have mentioned 3 people. Medical for Casca, Ufondo, Sunday. All these people are devils, gentlemen, unfortunately. They have female, not only you, only God keeps you alive. I cannot even go for it. I cannot even go home because of them. I'm on a step. You know, connection. Me and the family. I have reported this month. They have systematically physically tried on me. I can do. And the idiot I heard when he said he trained you. What of me that trained him? When his father abandoned him, I went to. Matter with me and him will be judged on this earth or we meet in heaven. Nothing will happen to you.
Thank you very much.
I have more. Any day you are going to court, call me. I bring my own evidence.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tango.
Anyway, you are going to work in court, pick me up.
Thank you so much.
Must stop.
Thank you. So much. And HTM Okoye, kindly please unmute yourself and ask your question quickly.
Thank you, Mazi, and thank you, Barrister Ejiofor. My question is, your work with IPOB, do you work on a pro bono basis, or are they retaining you as a lawyer for them? The next question is, here, we're in the height of the terrorist maneuvers in the West here, there's some certain laws that the West put in place that circumvent due process when it comes to terrorist actions. Do you know of any law in Nigeria that makes such circumvention? Because as we know, they prescribed IPOB. So I'm trying to find a reason why they will take such an action. Not that the action is commendable. It's actually a gross violation of your rights. So I'm trying to sort of find any kind of reason why such a thing might happen.
Thank you very much, HTM Okoye. Listen, when you talk about the circumvention, again, even if you're a murderer, even if you're, I don't know, if Hitler was to kill after killing so many million Jews, and if he was to be alive and he was caught alive, someone must still represent him. Does it mean that that person shouldn't have? I mean, when we talk about circumvention here, I will allow the barrister to answer, but I mean, let's put that clarification there, that I do not know of any law, international and local, that would circumvent a lawyer's right to defend. Barrister, over to you.
First of all, let me address the first question you raised. IPOB, I have the instruction of the leadership of IPOB to defend them right from 2015 when Nnamdi was in incarceration, unlawful detention. So apparently I defend them for fee, but I'm not kind of saying that because it's my saying that they going to discuss the terms of my brief with them on social media. I believe it's something private. Then secondly, the law here is very clear. Even if you're just like you hinted, even if you're investigating somebody, a person under our law in our criminal jurisprudence, is assumed to be innocent of any crime until when proven guilty. So in the course of investigating someone, if you receive a report that someone, and knowing fully well that I'm a lawyer to IPOB, that you are coming to my house as a lawyer, then we have what I call the set in place, what I call rules of engagement. Even without being fully informed, without notifying me that you're coming to my house, probably you are supposedly acting on intelligence. You're supposed to operate within the ambit of that rules of engagement, well laid out in our laws, which guides operation of security agencies. Now, what you are talking about, what you are saying, if you are having a direct confrontation with criminals, where you stand gun battle with them, I believe that should be an exceptional situation where somebody may be killed. I say that probably got in the scene of gun battle, but not for you to come to a peaceful home, a home belonging to a lawyer. And at the time you were coming to my house, you are fully aware that this house belongs to Barrister Dofon. From that document you have, you see where my name was stated in that report. I mean, those people that they are the report they're talking about. So you know you are coming to a lawyer's house, and they also fully aware that I was at home. They know I was at home because they supposed to be acting on it. They were acting on the supposed intelligence that I was coming back to coordinate a meeting of people who are coming to my house to take off operation. That was supposed to, according to what my information available to me. Now, if you are coming and eventually came here, I didn't see anybody. You came eventually went to what do you call it, to my BQ where my domestic staff lives. You didn't see even a pin. You didn't even see a knockout. You didn't see a gun. Can't that put on inquiry that probably you're acting on a false intelligence? Can't you just apply a restraint to some extent and say, look, this is what we heard about this guy is false. Then you can now embark on a civil investigation to hear from them. Please, what we are hearing from people about this, how long have you been here? Can we interrogate you further? In that case, you get for you know what based upon which you're acting. But the manner in which they acted, the manner in which my house was invaded, the manner in which my PA was killed, murdered, and the manner in which my vehicle was taken away, and the manner in which my vehicle was set ablaze while my PA life levels were inside, showed you there's more to it than meet the eyes. Police doesn't work that way. Ask any police officer, and even ask the commissioner of police in Abuja elsewhere, they will tell you they don't work that way. We understand how they work. So there's a predetermined intention. There's an arrangement somewhere that when you come, kill this man, kill this person, take him somewhere, set him ablaze. That's all. That's all. That's all. That is settled. And because they succeeded in getting one, they were unable to get one. They now took that person somewhere and killed him and set him ablaze, killed him here before taking him out. So it's simple. It's something that the security agent need to investigate people that came to my house, right? So there is no justification whatsoever for what happened in my house. No justification whatsoever for what happened in my house.
Okay. Thank you very much, Barrister Dare, for the clarification. Sadly, I think so many people, but let me quickly take Professor Femi Olufimilade. Afterwards, I would take Elder Daly. Professor, quickly unmute yourself and ask your question, Prof. Prof, can you quickly unmute yourself?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
I've tried
Prof,
to unmute
Go ahead.
over and over. Okay. Yeah, Barrister Ejiofor, I want to start by sympathizing with you on this unfortunate development. And I can only thank God that you are alive to tell this story. Even though I'm curious as to how they couldn't reach you. You were in that house, whether you were using Odeshi or the Holy Spirit literally transformed you into spirit. But the comment I want to make is I believe in self-determination, and I'm involved in the clamor on the Yoruba side. And anywhere I find myself, Mazi can testify. Even where Igbos are opposing them, I have made myself a private advocate of their right to, insist that they want a separate nation out of Nigeria, even if I disagree with some of their, how they define Biafra and all that. But the issue I want to raise, the question I want to raise is something I've pursued within the Yoruba groups. And that is, you said with emphasis that IPOB has the right to exist and to have an agenda, to have a country of their own. And that is why you have no inhibition whatsoever being their lawyer. My question is, are there no legal methods of pressing the case for self-determination outside this pacifist, plaintive method? I mean, by way of litigation, for instance. And if such exists, what are they and what can be done?
Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you. Barrister, please take notes because we're running out of time. I'll just need to get Elder Dele Ajufo quickly. Go ahead with your question. Dele, are you there? You are unmuted, Ajufo. Are you there? Okay, can I take Nzaike Nwosu, please? Quickly unmute yourself. Barrister Jofo, do not lose sight of the question so that
good evening.
You take. Okay.
Good evening, Barrister Mazi Ezuoke and every other person in the forum here. Please, Barrister, though I'm not a lawyer, but common sense tells me that the police, from IG to the last person in the police force, is not saying the truth. Because if they don't know anything about this issue, since this thing happened, why are they still keeping your staff in the cell?
Thank you so much.
This is one. Okay. The second one, I wanted to restrain myself from asking this question, but since you mentioned Gumi, it's about, I listened to the presidency about their response to the threat from Niger Delta guys. And everything they were saying there is, I will, or we will. Nothing positive, we will. And this, we have been hearing this for a very long time. I think these guys also from this other side, they are drawing us back, or they are just disturbing whatever we are doing. So this question now, I don't want you to answer me here. Maybe you can discuss it with your client. Why can't we move without these guys and do something meaningful for ourselves? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And the last person, sadly, is Elomba TV, Daniel Elomba. Kindly unmute yourself. And Mr. Daniel Elomba.
Hello. I don't know whether you are hearing my voice.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, my question, Barrister Jofo, is this. What happened to you is very sad. And I think this has lasted for weeks now, and it appears nobody is talking about it anymore. So I don't know whether you have addressed this. Maybe I didn't get it, but what remedies what actions are we putting in place to see that the dead got remedies and that the invasion of your house, you got remedy for that fundamental, absolute breach of your rights as a human person, the rights to the privacy of your home, and then the guys who lost their lives, what steps are being taken to see that justice is done to all of you? And what fundamental obstacles do you foresee in the course of actions to obtain these remedies, and how can they be overcome?
Thank you very much, Elomba there. So, Barrister, if you may take those three questions and address them before we round up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Angela. Actually, the first person extensively dealt on the manner in which the activities of IPOB is being carried out. So I can assure you, because I have been the IPOB lawyer for the past 6-7 years. So even when before the purported prescription of IPOB, which is being challenged before the Court of Appeal today. So in the course of this case, I've witnessed unwarranted killings of people who are peacefully agitating for their rights. It happened in Mpo. It happened in Ataba, High School Aba. It happened in Nnamdi Kanu's home. It happened in several places where people who are merely asking for referendum and rights, exercising their right to self-determination, were murdered by security agents in cold blood. So they originated the crisis. So there's a limit to which you can push somebody to war. So, but what you are saying, I'm not trying to justify, I'm not trying to go further on this, but what I'm saying is that what they've at our time material acted within context of confines of law. Now, there are situations in the Southeast, South, what they call South, River State and some other places now, where IPOB members, once you say that IPOB member, you are an IPOB member, they were arrested. People are being killed. IPOB members are being killed. Families are being arrested. As I speak to you today, I can confirm to you that we have not less than 2,000 people. Call them Igbo youths, call them elders, call them our mothers, call them our sisters, variously detained in different detention facilities of the police. I can confirm that to you. So now, and I've said this thing time without number. An average woman is a member of IPOB. Settled. Because now it depends on the way you're going about it. It depends on where you're interpreting what IPOB is all about. IPOB means indigenous people of Biafra. It's settled. So if you want to arrest anybody on the street because you have already in parentheses classified them as terrorist group, which pronouncement is effectively being challenged today in Court of Appeal. And the Court of Appeal has not one way or the other made further pronouncement on that. And I've said this thing time without number, that an appeal operates a stay in many cases. So, particularly when issues have been joined. So, giving effect to an order of court overturned through the back door to date can never help us. But we have taken all these things together and wants to let the authority understand the fact that not achieve much you cannot achieve much by applying violence, killing the innocent people, arresting innocent people. Because the more you are killing, the more you are provoking. So, but you can achieve much by engaging these people, understanding what their grievances are, understanding what they are talking about, what they are demanding, and possibly place on the table and discuss with the leadership of the IPOB. Right? So, that having been said, secondly, I am fully aware that my innocent and harmless staff, domestic staff, are being detained today by an instruction of AIG Donabank. Quote me correct, quote me anywhere on earth. I've written to international community about it. And by tomorrow, I'll start mentioning his name. I've started mentioning his name and I'll continue mentioning his name until he releases my voice to me, my staff to me. They are being detained today at the instruction of AIG and directive of AIG Donabank. So police keeping silence over the matter cannot as well help us. They must release these people with immediate effect. And I'm taking part of the second question that I was answered. I'm attempting. I'm going to challenge the atrocities, the crime, the heinous crime that took place in my house, the crimes against humanity that took place in my house, clearly perpetrated by security agents. Joint team of the police, DSS, the military, the soldiers, and the civil defense. We are going to challenge it in court. It is one thing for the court to give a decision as to what's happening, or to make a pronouncement on the illegality or otherwise of what happened in my house. And also give punitive damages to that effect. Because somebody has been killed, that person cannot come back to life again. Right? He has they have the right to life to live. So I am going to challenge the actions in law court. And the police cannot continue to maintain silence when they're still keeping my voice. They can't continue to maintain silence. I've told them to come out and tell the world what I did. Tell the world what I did. But once they say anything contrary to what is going on here, I will not mention them to the people who came to my. I'll make further pronouncement of what they're doing. Because my people has at all time materials acted within the ambit of law. They've acted within the ambit of law. So tell me where I offended anybody. Come to my village and ask about Stephen Ejiofor. They will tell you, my people will tell you who I am. People will tell you who I am in the church, outside church, in my community, even among my colleagues, they will tell you who I am. I am not a violent person. I'm a peace-loving man. I'm a person. I'm a generous man to the court, a fault. So tell me what I've done to deserve this kind of ill treatment. Crime being committed by people who ordinarily supposed to protect my life and lives of people of the citizens. There are people who are coming after my life and lives of innocent people. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barrister. That's a very fine place to leave it. We called on Elder Dele Ejiofor before. Elder, if you can make it very snappy, then we may round up. Can you hear us?
Me now? Can you hear me
yes,
now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
I don't have much. Thank you very much, Mazes. Okay. What I would like Barrister Ejiofor to do, the evidence he said he has concerning the atrocities in his home, can he make them available to you? That is one. Secondly, what is the body of lawyers, the NBA, doing about the atrocities and the victimization of lawyers in the country? We keep quiet and victimization continues. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that input. Barrister, if you may take that again, and now, in taking that comment, I'll come back to remedy, as asked by Elumba. I don't know, it appears, maybe that's me personally, what you should know this by now. One is inadvertently has lost hope in the way remedies could be obtained. And you mentioned at the beginning here that your house was invaded in December 2019. And roughly 1.5 years later, your house was re-invaded again. You haven't gotten any remedy for the first one. And here we are with another, a case of seeking for remedy for the second one. So I don't know how that is going to happen. But again, you might take that with the comment made by Elder Dele Ejiofor. Thank you very much. Barrister, are you still there? Okay.
Okay. What's obtainable in our jurisdiction? We have this is where we have a court that a court will make pronouncements and let for authority to execute it, implement the decision of the court. We have a system where rules of law are being treated with levity and discarded. So, but that cannot deter us from going to court. So, because pronouncement of the court matters to lawyers. So, it now depends on who to obey and who not to obey. So, let's get justice first. We'll take it off from there. And also, we have international community to complain to. Even if they're not doing anything, they will have to be crying. Let the world hear our voice. Let the world hear our cries. It's important. Thank you.
And the question of the NBA, what are the NBAs, NBA doing?
During this bloody invasion of my house on 6th June 2021, I made a personal contact with the NBA president. Abata, he consistently called me to find out what happened, and I told him, after narrating to him about what transpired in my home, he saw it and also intervene to the level the NBA will get involved. So, but I'm shocked that after the incident and to date, the NBA hasn't taken a position. And I've taken steps also formally I've taken place to write to NBA and the other relevant agencies on this, on the heinous crimes committed by students in my home on 6th of June. So I'm still awaiting their response, but other people are responding, like Human and the Amnesty International are taking steps, are doing something. And other people are doing something. American government is also doing something. So I'm hoping that NBA will take a position on this matter, on this Gore incident anytime soon. I'm hopeful that we'll do something about it because I'm full member of NBA. I don't think there's anything that will stop them from getting involved in my case because my welfare is also part of the duties of obligations for NBA to protect. Thank you.
That's a very fine place to anchor with. Daniel Elumba, you just submitted yourself.
Yes, I want to. My brother, Barrister Ejiofor, you are an eminent legal practitioner. So what I will say now will not be strange to you. Obviously, you are lamenting that even if you get a court pronouncement, then that will leave the area of enforcement, where the Nigerian authorities are obviously not unaware of what happened and what have been happening, when people will be killed and there will be no consequences for such actions. We know what happened to General Pinochet when he visited United Kingdom. It gave rise to dealt with the principle of sovereignty of states, where a former head of state that is no longer a head of state visited another country and was arrested. There is also another case of where a government official from an African country, I've forgotten whether it's Gabon or not Gabon, that was arrested in France. And on each of those occasions, the people who spearheaded the enforcement of such international legal action are not government, but NGOs, civil society organizations. And now when you mentioned about the United States government doing something, you and I know that there are limits to which the American government can go to enforce any action against the Nigerian government. And then when you also mentioned about Amnesty International also operates at the level of political prisoners and so on. But have you, or the people you represent, been able to identify such civil organizations based abroad to liaise with them to enforce judgments against actors, not necessarily people who may have immunity like the president, but law enforcement persons who have breached international norms and whom we know have committed crimes against humanity, so that whenever they are found abroad, you have the data, you have the acts, criminal acts they have committed, so that those international agencies will be at alert whenever they are found such. Because obviously, when you have exhausted domestic remedies, you know how international law works. You have now exhausted domestic remedies, but still your domestic remedies and court pronouncements have not been enforced. That now gives a leverage for those international organizations to take action against them when they visit UK. So what I'm asking is this something that you may contemplate doing, or whether you and the organization you represent, is this something that within their sight that they can do?
Okay, thank you very much. And that's it. So, Barrister, if you may take that quickly and, very short and, at the same time, put your concluding thoughts on, that will be it for us today. Thank you very much.
Very well. We actually have several pending cases against the state actors before the International Court of Justice, Criminal Court of Justice. So, and I may not be able to discuss the strategies being adopted by my foreign partners and foreign legal partners in trying to compare the state actors to bear responsibility for their ill actions. So I may not be able to discuss these strategies over the social media. But I can tell you that what we are doing here in Nigerian courts is not an exercise in futility, because it formed the basis for other further complaints outside the confines or jurisdiction of the Nigerian courts. So we have to explore the avenue and legal avenue available to us at this stage and take it further from there afterwards. Even when we don't have confidence in the system, knowing fully well that the system is so porous, the system is so skewed towards being manipulated. So, but I still have some element of confidence in some judicial officers. Thank you so much. And system.
Okay, Thank you very much once more. That's it's been a one-on-one conversation with Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. And this interview, as many of you rightly eventually know, this interview centered around the invasion of his house, the killing of his PA, and what happened in his house in 2019 and also on the 6th of June 2021. The denial by the security agent. One may just leave this meeting wondering, how come that a security agent that is meant to protect lives and properties, why would they invade a man's house in the wee hours of the night without any prior knowledge, without even registering it with the local authorities within their services? Again, there is a lot of holes. There is a lot of, a lot of questions are not answered from the side of the security operatives. If the entity is denying the involvement in any way of these, if they are denying involvement, one question that will leave us here wondering and scratching our head is, what are these three men in the person of Felix Okonkwo, Okafor Lawrence Ugochukwu, Ikenna Chukwubuike? So you ask yourself, these men, what are they still doing in detention if the police, the security agents are denying that they never invaded this house? Were they ghosts? Were they abducted by aliens? Were they abducted by ghosts? So many unanswered questions. But again, for many of us who talked about remedies, what is going to happen? Again, let it be known to us that the media, the fourth realm or the fourth estate within the realm, is also an avenue to ensure that this is kept in the front burner. I understand that many people think, oh, this case, I thought it has been settled. And many were shocked when we said, okay, we are going to have this conversation. Part of the reason why this conversation is going on is to ensure that justice is done, that we begin to get answers to some of these things that are not clear on the surface of it. And we are still going to do our best to keep digging and ensure that at the end of the day, justice is done and that justice is served. On that note, I once more say, Barrister Ejiofor, once more, thank you for being part of this program today. And I am still your host, Mazi Ezoke. Thank you very much. And everyone have a